Hello everybody, welcome back to the FM24 Youth Academy Challenge with Folkestone Invicta, and we're at the start of Season 8. It's going very, very well, and I do think we have Power BI to thank for that. Let's get into it. Yes, hello everybody, welcome back to the save, and first and foremost, we are 4th in the league. 15 games played. I thought that was a good point to come back in the season. 8 wins, 3 draws, 4 losses, and a goal difference of +6. So we're still not massively outscoring teams, but we are firmly in the race for the playoffs. 5 points ahead of Scarborough Athletic, who currently sit outside the playoffs in 8th. They do have a game in hand on us, but we should be fine. If Northampton win their game in hand, we just drop 1 place to 5th. Really not bad. And our next game, which we're probably not going to have time to do on camera, but our next game is Wigan in the FA Cup first round. Now, a lot of you might think, wow, that's not that important, but Wigan is very important for us. We get half of the revenue for ticket sales. Wigan have a stadium which can hold 25,000 people. Yes, this is potentially a good amount of money coming into the club for us from this first round. Win or lose, it doesn't really matter. They've not been having great crowds. Their highest is like 12,700. I think that's probably their highest here, not including pre-season friendlies, but you never know. A cup round against a minnow, they might have a fan day or something like that, boost the crowd. But anyway, it's going to be pretty good. I mean, if we look at if we just go to, can we do home venue like that they've played? Yeah, so, and then we'll filter out friendly, so no let's just look at league only. That sort of makes sense, because I don't think they've played in the FA Cup yet. No, we'll look at league only. We'll go judging by results, and can we just do, home, there we go. That's what I was looking for. And then we'll go judging by results. In fact, attendance would make sense, wouldn't it? So between 10,000 and 15,000 they're getting at home. That is huge. That is very, very, very good. This could be a windfall. This is the sort of team I wanted to play in the FA Cup. They've also been in terrible form at home. They've lost 3 and drawn 4. They've not won a game at home this season. So this could bode very, very well. Just to let you know, so they've got between 10,600 and 15,500 for their attendance. We've got a maximum of 5,000, and that was away. So let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of away and neutrals. Our largest attendance is 3,321, which was a pre-season friendly. So again, take away the friendly games. We drew 2,095 people to play Havant and Waterloo in the last FA Cup round. So if they get 10,000 people, half of that money is going to be more than what our largest home attendance brings into the club. So it could be really, really good for us. This could be very, very good. Now I need to sort by date, I assume. Yes. And while we're here, we might as well look at the schedule and see how it's been. Fantastic start to the season in August. We went unbeaten with 2 wins and 3 draws. Very nice indeed. In September then, we got 3 wins and 2 losses, losing to Accrington 2-0 and losing 1-0 to Wickham. They got a penalty in that one, but beating Hartlepool 4-3. We beat Grimsby 2-0 and we beat Barnet 1-0 as well. And then into October, which we've just finished, we have 4 wins and we've just lost 2 games back to back. Oldham beat us 1-0, very unlucky in that one. They're a very good team. And Woking beat us 2-1 as well. Chris Smith getting our consolation goal, well, getting an equaliser actually, and then they won it in the 88th minute. So we are playing some very good football. We deserve to be up near the top of the table. It has been very, very good. And very nice indeed. We'll have a quick look then at the players that have the best way for me to do this might actually be to go and show you the shortlist, because everyone we release I put on a shortlist. But Sam Dedder has gone on loan to Haywards Heath for a bit of first team football. Get him some experience in there. We've let go Jens Albers, Sam Dean Pulling, Ferreira, Massimo Jolly, Jake Fitzgerald, who did look like that actor whose name I forget again, Brandon Gilbert, who was a half decent centre back, but he was kicking up such a fuss that we didn't really want to keep him around. And Pete Daly just didn't improve technically. Physically and mentally was there. Did kick off a little bit about a lack of first team football, but with the players we've got coming through, he's not really going to be missed that much. Towards the back end of last season, we had a huge clear out of players, as you can see, on the 10th of May. So Sammy Tarbuck, Sam Watson, Lee Pollard, David Burns, Connor Murray, Steve Molly, Sufyan Saidi, Sammy Gaylor, Cody Dixon, Taylor Johnston and Jakob Benko all left the club. Have we released anybody else on a free transfer? No, we haven't. I think that is everything in terms of the transfers. A huge cull. We've gone from something like 70 players to about 45. So much more manageable, much better. Let's dive into Power BI. So once again, the Power BI has been revamped. It's always an evolution. It's always a way of me making it try and look the best it can be and do the best it can do. So our preferred 4-2-4 or 4-2-2-2 system is now in the Power BI, and it does differentiate between a ball-playing defender, a centre-back, a holding midfielder, a segundo volante, a target forward, advance forward, 2 wingers, a left-footed winger, a right-footed winger, a left-footed fullback, and a right-footed fullback as well. We are trying to maximise crosses into the box. And what you can see is that GUBBINS is really good. He is our best ball-playing defender, our best centre-back, and our best left-back. And funnily enough, if we go and have a look at the position list, this is what I wanted to look at. If we look at who the best target forwards are at the club, GUBBINS is the second best. The third best is another centre-back in Adam Beredetsky, and then Hamzu Forso and Joe McLachlan, who is a central midfielder, Lee Turner, who's a central midfielder, Harold Zimmer, who is a left-back, and Omarovic, finally, is a striker up there as well. But Junior Ward is a name we're going to go and look at in the game in a minute, because I would never have played him if it wasn't for Power BI, but Junior Ward is the best target forward at the club according to the system. Chris Smith is the best advance forward, but he's also the best left winger, so he will be playing left wing. Omarovic is actually the second best advance forward at the club, so he is starting to get a bit more game time after he didn't have too much at the beginning of the season. Lexi is the second best winger. You can see Chris Smith and Lexi are standout, our best wingers, both getting into the average of the 10s up there. We've got Beredetsky as the best segundo volante and holding midfielder and right back, or best fullback at the club, I should say. But he is playing in holding midfield at the moment, and then Michael Onyema, it comes into segundo volante. GUBBINS plays as the ball-playing defender, which means, weirdly, Elliot Moore is our best centre-back, like just to play as a normal centre-back after GUBBINS. We sometimes play Beredetsky, we sometimes play Skjorten. Keanu Bursey did have a couple of games in there as well. The fluidity of Beredetsky means that we can rotate in positions quite a lot and give lots of people game time, which is very good as well. We still have the rank system, which is ranking all the players. You can see we're down to 46 players at the club. Louis Collins is definitively one of the worst players at the club now. He has not improved. Obviously, he's 30. But we're going to try and keep him around to get him on the coaching staff. That's what I want to do a bit more of on this Youth Academy save, is get our really old players that have are legends at the club, that become legends for us, that stay with us for ages, get them in as staff. We did it with Callum Davies. He's our assistant manager. I want to do it with Louis Collins as well. And then we've got a number of youngsters that probably aren't ever really going to make it. We will keep an eye on Junior Ward. He is up there, which is weird because he is our best target forward. Have I not updated? Junior Ward is definitely number 1 there. So this is obviously not working. I obviously need to correct this because Junior Ward is not a player that ranks 12th or worse in all metrics. So I will... In fact, I think I can do that right now. Give me a sec. Okay, after changing the code to read the right thing, we can see there that it is a much shorter list, which sort of makes sense. And Louis Collins is still in there. Junior Ward is no longer in there. Mark Brown, Maximus Standen, which is an interesting one because he came through as a very highly rated player when we first got him. Roy Nsingi, Sam Himbry, another one that was very highly rated to begin with, Danny Whittingham, and Cheng Chi Ming, who is sort of holding on to his spot because we need some more left wingers. But it is still working. I just had a slight correction. You didn't see it, but it's a mend on the go, isn't it? But yeah, it's really, really interesting. So it's pulling out all the best players in different positions. We now have fullback on support, fullback on attack, DM on defend, DM on playmaker, defensive line play, or deep lying playmaker. You get my words out. Segundo volante, wingers, target forward, advance forward, ball players, and goalkeeper as well. And all of that information feeds into here and gives us the best 11 that we can potentially put out. I still can't quite figure out a way to say if Jordan GUBBINS is already in a position, don't enable him again, but I'm trying to figure that out to get that done. Yeah, this goes through all the top positions that we've got. We go through the rankings, which we've already seen. And then we have our squad data, which is still here as well. We've scored 29 goals this season so far. Lexi is our top goal scorer. Luke Johnson is at there with assists. Michael Onyema is actually the most creative player across all minutes and all games. Chris Smith has our best non-penalty expected goals. Lexi is our best average rating. Jordan Gubbins with the best pass completion. Elliot Moore is putting in the best tackle ratio per 90 minutes. He's also winning the most headers as well. And our average age has dropped from about 20, I think it was last year, to 19 and a half years old in this system for people that have played over 900 minutes or more this season. You can see down here as well that it's just we're not really playing Louis Collins that much this year, so it's being skewed back towards the youngsters in minutes and goals by age. Obviously 13 goals have been scored, shared between Lexi, Chris Smith and Davian Alcock in there as well, which is amazing. They have the share of the minutes for the 16-year-olds as well. 17-year-olds that are scoring, we've got quite a few. Gubbins, Ward, Luke Rice, Luke Johnson. In fact, quite a few have got goals in there, which is good to see. Right foot and left foot, we've got a few more left footers coming through that are reasonable on there. If we look at the very strong left footers, we have 15 of them at the club, which is very impressive, to be honest, and very, very good. I've just noticed as well, it does actually change for people that have a very strong left foot. It shows you the best there. Luke Johnson with the top assists, Gubbins with the most, Chris Smith with the best non-penalty XG. Who's got a reasonable left foot? Michael Onyema is in there with a reasonable left foot. So yeah, it's looking pretty good. We're not going to dive too much into these attributes just yet. But yeah, it's all looking good. It is being improved. Not ready for release yet. I apologise. But Steve, keep letting me know things you would like to see. Obviously, we've got more balanced personalities than anything else. But generally, we aren't getting too many bad personalities, saying that Unambitious is our second highest with 7. But the personalities are getting better as we sort of cull the worst ones out. Let's get back to the game. Okay, so back into the game. This is everybody at the club, all 45 players that we currently have in here. So at the moment, we can get rid of the under-18s and just look at the players that are in what's deemed the senior squad, even though there's lots of young players in here. Appearances wise then, Chris Smith, Kyle Sop both up there with 16, Elliot Moore with 15 and 1 sub appearance, Jordan Gubbins up there with 15, Lexi with 14, Harold Zimmer at left back gets 13 starts and 1 sub. Goals wise, it's Lexi with 7, Chris Smith with 5, Omarovic with 3, Luke Rice with 2, Gubbins with 2, Junior Ward with 2, and Kyle Sop with 2 as well. And then assists, we've got 5 for Luke Johnson, 4 for Lexi, 3 for Rice, 3 for Onyema, 2 for Alcock, 2 for Smith, and a host of people on number 1. But the player I wanted to have a look at was Junior Ward, because there is no way I would have picked him if the Power BI didn't say to pick him. His technicals are pretty crap. Physically, he's okay. But what I've done in the Power BI is weighted in terms of percentage these attributes that are marked as like so for his case it's a target, forward and support. So green is really, really necessary: heading, bravery, balance, jumping reach, strength, teamwork. So they're all weighted in there at like 60%. They're all getting a 60% weighting to say how good he is to play at that role. Anything in blue is getting a 30% weighting. So in this case, finishing, first touch, aggression, anticipation, bravery, composure, decisions off the ball. They're all being weighted like that. And then the extra attributes that I really like are then getting 10% extra weighting to go through it. Those attributes that are getting 10%, I can show you by looking at our Youth Academy view, because it's these ones that I judge quite a lot. So jumping reach, pace, acceleration, determination, work rate, teamwork, concentration, decisions, and composure. So it's naturally everybody that has good attributes in these categories are going to get a little bump, like a little extra 10% on top of what the attributes Football Manager thinks are very good for the roles. Now, I introduced that system, I would say probably around here somewhere. So we started quite well. We lost to Wickham, and I think, let's have a little revamp of the Power BI. And it's obviously worked very, very well. Especially, it might have even been here. It might have been after we lost to Accrington, is actually when I may have done it. I can let you know, because it would have been Junior Ward would have come in for a game, if I can find where he started, although it's not in there at the moment. He did pick up an injury at some point. I know he's not played that many. I mean, he's definitely played some of these games. I mean, he played there and he got a goal against Havant and Waterlooville. Maybe I trialled it out for the FA Cup. Yeah, because he got another one against South Shields in there as well, and then we lost at Oldham where he played. I must have done that. I must have trialled it as a thing in the FA Cup. We won. I kept it going. We beat South Shields, lost narrowly to Oldham, lost narrowly to Woking as well. But yeah, it's really interesting to see how the Power BI is justifying players to come in. And I thought the best way to do it is, obviously everyone has their favourite attributes that they want to see. Where's Kyle Sop, for example? No, let's have a look at Gubbins, right? Because Gubbins is being highly rated across the whole pitch. So Football Manager, obviously the way the match engine works, the higher the ones in green are, they are going to perform better in that role. But everybody knows that jumping reach, pace and acceleration are a bit overpowered in the match engine, so I think they're very crucial to then give that extra 10% to. Then I've got my preferred attributes as well, much like your concentration, your decisions, determination, work rate, teamwork, things like that. And we do need to pull on those because we're never going to have the best players given that we can only use youth academy players. But we need to have players that are given a bit of an extra boost with working hard, working for the team, making the right decisions, being available to concentrate for the whole game, being determined if they go behind and things like that. So I do think it's a very sort of fair way to do it. Anything in green gets a 60% rating, 60% weighting. Anything in blue gets a 30% weighting. And then the last 10% is given to the attributes that I think influence the match engine generally overall. So we should never be too overpowered because we're not giving too much favoritism to jumping reach, pace and acceleration. But we are giving them a little bit of a boost in terms of the attributes through the Power BI system to see who is slightly better. And it appears to be working. This season we're up to 4th in the Vanarama National League. We're playing very, very well. My voice is slightly going because I've still got this slight illness that I picked up in Cambodia. But yeah, we're doing very well indeed. Now there is still some open to interpretations of players that I like to pick. So for example, Harold Zimmer, I do really like him as a fullback on either side. Excuse me, he's been playing very well. And it has justified, well, he hasn't been playing that well, actually. Right? Last year he played quite well and justified a bit more of an inclusion in the team. But I will be leaning heavily into the Power BI and using that to help us pick players, decide who we keep. Again, if there's someone that comes up in the Power BI and they're in that list of the never being in the top 12, but they have a good personality, we might keep them around to see if they develop a little bit more. Louis Collins is going to stay around no matter how much he's in that, and generally it's all going pretty well. It's all a good bit of fun. We're going to be utilising the Power BI, the academy. We're trying to get the facilities up. We're trying to get all of that stuff done. Let's see how it goes. In terms of money, because we had a bit of a conversation with someone in the comments saying to ask about money. We are, or were, in the negative, but we are making enough money to get us out of the negative every single season. This is the first time we've been in it. I don't know what we bought. We must have bought training facilities or something, or did something with the board. Maybe a host of contracts were given out with a few signing on bonuses or something around this time. Not that that would make sense because it's August. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that is. Oh, loan repayments. That's probably what is hurting us a little bit here. These were probably the first loan repayments when we weren't playing games because it was the summer. And now we're back into the season. The money is creeping up. So, yeah, we're not doing too bad in terms of money. The board aren't really giving us any sort of income or money support for any facilities or anything while we're in the red. We still do have the bank loan that we're paying off for 12. We've got 12,000 left, paying £475 a month. So yeah, that will eat into it. That was for our facilities and when we upgraded the stadium and things like that. So monetary wise, it's all right. It's not amazing, but it's all right. We're not in near administration or bankruptcy. So that's the main thing with that one. Facility wise, we're still the same. 5 on training facilities, but they're basic. 6 on youth facilities, they're below average. 6 on youth recruitment, it's fairly basic. And 10 in junior coaching, which is adequate academy coaching. Reputation is still just local and our finances are okay. Cheriton Road can hold 4,336 people. So even if Wigan get a quarter of their stadium full, it's going to be more than our stadium can host. So it is a massive game against them, which is good. But the stadium condition's in a good condition. The surface is in a good condition and grass. So we're not doing too bad. I do think we're going to be all right. And then the little attributes, the stats that we've got for us: 340 games played, we've scored 580 goals, conceded 509, but we have won 146 of those 340 games. We've drawn 86 of them, lost 108. We have a win percentage of 42%, which is great, which is good, which is very, very good. But we are going to leave it there. I have no idea how long this video is because most of it was involved in me changing the code for the Power BI. But thank you so much for watching. We'll be back midway through the season at some point to see how we're getting on, see if we're still hanging on to those playoff spots. Catch you in the next one. Cheers.